Hey guys, I know it looks a little bit different, but that is because I am back home at my parents' house in North Carolina for the holidays, and this is my sister's room. You might have already seen my best games of 2012 video, which went up, I think, last week? I don't remember. But a lot of you asked if I was going to do a worst games of 2012. Now, at first, I was kind of like, I get really bad comments when I do a best games, so what the hell kind of comments would I get when I do a worst games? And then I remembered, this is YouTube. I'm gonna get terrible comments no matter what I post. I could post a video of me cuddling puppies while baby pandas roll around behind me and I'd get jerk face comments. And since I'm not one to shy away from trouble, I figured, what the hell, let's go ahead and do it. And since we're talking about shitty YouTube comments, let's go ahead and start this off with worst attitude, which I give to Max Payne. Poor Max Payne, he is such a little grumpy butt. He's drinking all the time. He doesn't want any of the half-naked women that are on these boats and always around him. You know, if he just gave in to a lady just once, I know, Max, your wife is dead. It's terrible. Come on, a man's got his needs. Give it a try, might lighten your mood. So Mr. Grumpy Butt Max Payne gets the Worst Attitude of the Year award. Then we're gonna go into the game that I am the saddest I will not be seeing any more from, which is Kingdoms of Amalur: The Reckoning. As you know, the studio behind such a great RPG is more than just out. They are completely done, bankrupt. Like, it was the worst type of company fallout in probably video game history. You would definitely not be seeing any more Reckoning unless another company picks it up. To me, The Reckoning was one of the best RPGs I've played in quite some time. So the fact that I won't be seeing any more of this game, no sequels, no prequels, no MMO version, makes me very sad. Talking about RPGs, let's go into the worst DLC add-on, which I gotta give to Skyrim Hearthfire. That was what it was called, right? Hearthfire? Anyways, I call it the Build-A-House DLC. They marketed it like, oh, you're gonna be able to customize and you're gonna build this awesome house, it's gonna be great. But actually, no. All you did was hit accept a bunch of times. Build living room, accept, add this, accept, build this, accept. You really didn't do much of anything other than just running around trying to gather the materials for the house, but if you'd already beaten the game, most likely you already had most of those materials anyways. Then, once you got your house built, customization wasn't really there either. Do you want a fireplace? Yes. Do you want bookshelves? Or do you just want shelves? Bookshelves. That was basically the extent of it. My house probably looks almost identical to every single one of your guys' houses out there. So that's why Hearthfire gets my worst DLC add-on of the year. Now we're going to jump into one I know I'm going to get the most flack for, which is the worst or most annoying sidekick of the year. If you watch my best games of the year video, you already know who this award goes to, and that is the lovely, the very sexy Cortana. Yeah, she's hot. I get it, guys. But she's an AI. A hot AI. Yeah, I totally agree. Super hot. But also super annoying. Let's go ahead and jump into the biggest and worst gamer temper tantrum of the year. That one is going to all you lovely Mass Effect 3 fans who threw an absolute shit fit over the ending. I get it, I'm with you. The ending wasn't everything it could have been. There was a lot of loose ends it could have wrapped up. It left some stuff to be desired. But there have been worse video game endings out there. And when we should have been celebrating and rewarding BioWare for delivering us such an amazing trilogy of games, and the ending of Shepard's story, and just one of the best trilogies we've had in gaming for a while. We should have been like congratulating for that and thanking them for that. Instead, we shit all over them. We had petitions, hate mail, just really, it's a video game, and we've had worse endings. And the ending really wasn't that bad. I liked my ending. If that's the ending that they want me to have, the creators of Mass Effect want me to have, I take it. I'm not saying it was perfect in any way, but it wasn't as bad as a lot of gamers wanted to completely throw a temper tantrum over, and it was a really embarrassing time for a lot of us other gamers who weren't complaining, because it did go mainstream, and a lot of people who weren't gamers saw it and were just shocked by our attitudes and the way we reacted to such an amazing developer. BioWare, everybody on the Mass Effect team, thank you for such an amazing game, and I apologize for all my fellow gamers who ridiculed you, tweeted you hate tweets, sent you hate mail, and signed petitions for you guys to redo the ending. Thank you for listening to them and giving us a solid ending. You didn't have to do that, but thank you. Then the award for the game that I felt didn't live up to all the hype is Diablo 3. I do kind of think Diablo 3 was doomed from the beginning to never live up to all the hype. When you announce a game so early in development and it takes you years upon years upon years to finish the game, you already have playable demos of it at conventions 5 years before the release, that's a little much. And I know that there are complications in development, but when you announce a game way before you should, you get this hype, especially for a game like Diablo. When Diablo 2 was such a hit and so many people are looking for the Diablo 3, and then what we got just wasn't worth everything we've been waiting for. Not to mention the launch. How terrible that launch was. Oh, I know, PC launches suck anyways, but really, that was an epically terrible launch. And then the big one, the worst game of the year. Some of you are saying Resident Evil 6, but no, you're close, but it's Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. Oh, that game didn't really have any redeeming factors, which is hard. It's a Resident Evil game. That should be a redeeming factor right there, but no. The controls were awful. This story I can't even say the story was bad because the story was just pretty much non-existent. It just sucked to the point where it was so bad that it was laughable. But it never got to the point where it was so bad it was still fun to play. It was so bad that it was laughable, but still no fun to play. No game should be that. No Resident Evil game should be that. And that is why it is by far the worst game of 2012. Well guys, that is it for the worst games of 2012 awards. Let me know in the comments what were some of your biggest disappointments this year. And as always, thanks for watching.